Hey there, this is Jeremy Jansen, and today I have something new for you from the world of Reason 9.5 and VST plugins. Today I want to have a look at Stylus RMX. If you don't already know what Stylus is, it is a drum and percussion loop plugin made by Spectrasonics. It's always been one of my favorite VSTs. Not just for its features, but for its really amazing content library of loops. There's so much creative stuff in here. I just can't say enough good stuff about Stylus RMX. So yeah, highly recommended. Of course, you can load your own Rex format loops into Stylus as well, so you can just use it as a loop player for your pre-existing loops. Anyway, that's enough about what Stylus is. Today I want to show working with Stylus in Reason in a few different ways and how to get the most out of it. So the standard workflow of RMX is using the slice menu. First I'll just let you hear this loop. Slice menu is similar to Dr. Octorex in that slices from the loop are mapped to individual keys on your keyboard. You get the idea. So what you normally want to do is use Stylus's drag and drop functionality to drag a MIDI loop into your sequencer so that you can perhaps tweak how the slices are played back, or just use that for sequencing purposes. So let's open up the browser here, and then let's open up Reason Sequencer. And you can see here I've got Half Moon Combo selected, and we'll just drag and drop. And now we will zoom. And there you go. We've got our slices in this MIDI loop. But what Reason does is something a little bit strange. When you drag MIDI into the sequencer, it actually creates a new track and a new device. If we go back to our rack here, you'll see we've got this ID8 device with piano mapped to actually play our MIDI file here, which is pretty silly. Yikes, I didn't mean for that to be so loud. But yeah, it's not playing on the correct channel. So what you have to do is just drag it up to the Stylus channel there. And now it plays just fine. And the second thing we can do is just head in here and select the automatically created mix channel and this ID8 device and delete them. They don't use a lot of CPU, especially if you're not actually playing sounds on them, but it can clutter your rack and it can clutter your mixer, so it's just best to get rid of them. So when you are working with Stylus and other VST hosts, you would probably add some other loops. So often you're going to want to add more than just one loop to your track. And in that case, Stylus is a multi-timbral instrument, so it has a possibility to load 8 loops. But we run into a bit of Reason 9.5 limitation when we do that. So I'm going to show you that and then a bit of a workaround. So say we've got this Half Moon loop loaded. Let's hear that again. Okay, and we want to add, I don't know, something kind of like an effect. Let's see. Yeah, sure, something like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we would go back to the sequencer and we would drag and drop. And we've got our MIDI loop here. It's on this kind of phantom ID8 device. You can see another one will have been added to our rack that we have to delete, but no big deal. There's a larger problem though. Currently, Reason cannot send multiple tracks of MIDI on different channels to a VST. So normally you would send this first loop on MIDI channel 1, and that would trigger this loop, the half moon loop, and then you'd send this loop on MIDI channel 2, and it would trigger the volcano kabuki wood loop. But we can't do that. Reason only communicates with VSTs right now. Hopefully it changes in an update, but right now it only communicates on that one MIDI channel. So what can we do? One solution is the brute force approach, and that is just opening up another instance of Stylus RMX. We can do that very easily just by duplicating the device. There, we've got a second stylus. So keep in mind that duplicates everything. That duplicates the loops we've chosen, and that also duplicates the sequencer tracks. So we don't actually want duplicated sequencer tracks. We want to delete this new one, and we actually want to move our kabuki wood MIDI loop onto that second Stylus RMX. And then we're going to go into the browser here, and we can't use, currently this kabuki wood is on the second channel, but we can't use that channel. So every RMX that we add has to have its loop on channel 1. So we will we'll just zero off that loop, so that's empty, and then we'll go back to channel 1, volcano, kabuki wood. There we go. So there we go. Now we have our two channels playing back the correct slices. So you can continue to do that and build up as many loop tracks as you want. Just remember, you're completely ignoring channels 2 through 8 in Stylus RMX. As for performance, that was something I was a little bit concerned about because Stylus RMX is a fairly heavy-duty plugin. So I had a look, and it doesn't seem like it's incurring much more of a CPU hit to be loading multiple styli instead of just one and using the multi-channel. You do take a RAM hit. It looks like every instance of Stylus costs about 200 to 300 megabytes of RAM, no matter what loop is loaded. So, or I should say without any loop loaded. So if you're loading 8 instances of Stylus, you are going to probably get about a 1.5 gigabyte hit to your RAM, which isn't really the end of the world. Most of us have a fair bit of RAM nowadays, but it's definitely something to be aware of. So by working in this way with slice mode, you can basically get the most out of Stylus RMX with just a few hassles here and there, like deleting out these silly ID8 instruments. So that's all I have for this particular video, but this is going to be a series of multiple shorter videos. I want to experiment with shorter videos and see how it goes. And those are going to be coming very soon. So if you use Stylus and if you use Reason, keep an eye on the channel. Thanks so much for watching. This is Jeremy Jansen. Until next time, cheers.